This is how I went from this to that in the span of 3 months. Alright, so this is the first animation I made. There's not much else to say about it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be, and it did a good job. So here's some interesting tidbits about it. So as you can see, there are 2 cubes. One was where the lights were all pointing at, which is the center of the guy's face, and one is where the camera is tracked to, so I can easily do a revolver round and not have to worry about it being uncentered. The other complex part of this project was the shaders. I copy and pasted it from a tutorial which I'll link in the description. This next one is actually pretty cool. Domain expansion. Let's talk about some of the components. This scene was absurdly laggy. That's also why the Blender footage you're currently seeing is getting a little bit cooked. I used constant time interpolation for all the character animations, so that's really cool. And I also learned that animating Boolean modifiers is the worst. If you want something to vanish in front of you, use nodes, please. There's not much else to say about this one. I had to import some models from actual in-game, unlike any other model I've done before. So that was new. This one has no sound effects because copyright reasons, but you can watch the short that's linked in the description if you want to see it with sound effects. It's based off of a anime dongwa something that I saw, and I thought the animation was really, really good. I'm gonna try making that myself because I want to learn, and that's what I did. One of the major things to notice, I did this without any rigging, and I learned very quickly why that's not a good idea. I had to animate this entire thing within 9 days just so I could get it uploaded right when the first episode of the anime ran, and it still came out 2 days late. I learned a lot about grease pencil. There's not much else. It's pretty interesting that I use cycles. Each frame took around 4 minutes to render on the first Blender file. There's actually 3 of them in this thing. One for the main character without the transformation, one for after transformation, one for the voidscape, the one you're seeing right now. Here's my attempt at doing cell shading. Here's my first self-choreographed fight scene, and it ended up kind of terrible. To be honest, the timing was horrible, so I had to readjust it in post. Yeah. I'm not very proud of that one, if I'm being honest. However, it was the first one to have an actual rig. Let's go! Speaking of rigs, then I decided to make a second rig. And this one includes rim lights. Rim lights, my beloved. Look at those beautiful things. The important thing to note here is that I am now using the 4.4.1 experimental NPR build, and Blender Launcher is my goat for making that possible, really. Then I tried animating for the blue shirt trend. There's not much else to say about it. Look at me go. And now, without further ado, the thing you've been waiting for. Sorry if that disappointed any of you, it's really short. I'm going on vacation soon, give me a break. I'm a sole animator, and I have like 2 days until vacation. This was animated in only 2 days, yesterday and day before. But before going any further, I should probably mention that this is not exclusively my own animation. I am actually doing the 3D equivalent of tracing for the animation, which is originally by Sonic X Generations, anime episode 1, I think. But now that that disclaimer's out of the way, let me talk about the cool things that I had to do to be able to make this work. So, first of all, let me quickly just play this animation for you without any grease pencil, just so you can understand this. Did you notice the big difference? Did you notice how you probably weren't able to follow the choreographed movements as easily? Yeah, so that's what I learned from doing this animation. From doing this animation, I learned that the 2D effects on top of it is what makes the choreography actually easy to understand. By having these lines that indicate motion, it makes it so your eyes are able to process it, even when the movement is one punch every like 3 frames or something like that. The other important thing of note is that you actually make it so every single frame, there is some movement progressing the battle. For instance, charging up a punch, twisting so you can dodge a punch, putting up your other hand so you can block a punch that's going to come 3 frames later. I noticed that every single movement is extremely important. And with that, I kind of want to end the video here. So, hopefully you took something away from this. Otherwise, just subscribe so you can see cool animations. I don't know.